All right, friends, today we're going to focus on making a self-portrait, actually two self-portraits that show an emotion. I have this worksheet here that gives me all different sorts of facial expressions that correspond with an emotion. We're going to start in our sketchbook by drawing the basics of ourselves. A head, ears. You don't need to worry about your neck today. We'll add that when we do another drawing. I'm going to make my hair. My hair comes down and meets my head, and it overlaps. I have bangs. And I'll give you a step-by-step worksheet that shows you how to draw a face. So I have the basics of my face. Now I'm going to look at this worksheet and pick an emotion, a feeling. Clearly this one isn't me. I don't have a mustache. But I think this one, it looks fairly content or happy. I'm going to make my eyes like they're closed. Nose. Mouth. And eyebrows. And I think I'm going to draw myself with glasses. My glasses aren't shaped like those though. Mine are round. So I'm going to make the shape of my glasses. And I'm going to do this with at least two. If you don't like your first two, you may do more. But I'm going to turn my page and do another drawing of myself, me, feeling something. Happy, sad, calm, content, tired, bored. I'll time lapse you while I do that. All right, now I have two sketches of myself feeling some sort of an emotion. I'm going to work on my good paper now, and I'm going to do something called a reductive drawing, which is kind of like reverse drawing. I'm going to start by tracing the negative space. The negative space is the space around the negative space of these two squares. And then I want to fill the squares with pencil. And your stencil might fall off like mine does. I'm just going to line it back up and show you two different ways to fill it. One way to fill it involves holding the stencil perfectly still. And this is tricky. You do need to hold it totally still because if it moves, you need to put it back on by lining up exactly where it is. And you're moving your pencil back and forth to fill the square. When you get to about halfway, you need to rotate your hands to the other side. So I'm approximately halfway here. So I'm going to switch to the other side. And I'm even rotating my body. You could rotate your paper to make it easier. You do need to hold that stencil totally still for this method to work. Now I'm going to show you how to fill it without holding the stencil. If you're doing it without holding the stencil, you need to hold your paper so you're filling parallel to the line. So I'm going to fill parallel, which means along the same direction as the edge. So I'm going along the edge and filling, then I'm going to rotate it. It's important that you do that because if you're going in the opposite direction, perpendicular to the edge, you really wind up going outside that square line, and we want to keep the square nice and neat. And now I'm going to fill this way. And then it's a little easier to fill the middle, but you do need to be very careful with the edges. Now when you're done, you can see I went outside of the edge just a little bit there. That's not a big deal because you can just take your eraser and erase it. Okay, now for the reverse drawing. This is me stressed out. If I'm ever making that face, you know I'm feeling the stress. I'm starting by erasing the shape of my face. This is opposite drawing. I'm playing with negative space, the space around. I filled all of the space, and now I'm erasing the positive space. Okay? So in my drawing, outside of that shape of my head, I also have my hair. So I'm going to erase the shape of my hair. And I have that little circle bun on top. So now I have the general outline. So that's this basic outline of me. Now I'm going to do the additive process, which means I'm adding pencil on. I'm going to add on the shape of my head. I'm tracing around. I'm going to fill and add some texture for that bun in my hair. I'm going to draw in my bangs. And I'm going to draw in my facial expression, which, like I said, was super stressed out. This is like Mrs. Westman when she forgets to plan your lesson or mixes up the days and the schedule. That's how I feel on those days. Ooh. I'm gonna outline the shape of my face here. And then I'm gonna repeat that for my other emotion. And if I don't like something, I can always re-erase. Like, it's a little bit asymmetrical there on my glasses, so I just re-erase, no big deal. Now I'm gonna do content. I'm erasing the shape of my head. In this one, my hair is a little bit different. Now, if you have super short hair, you actually have it good in this lesson because you don't need to erase outside of the shape of your head because your hair will be totally within that shape. So I'm erasing that circle or oval, and then I'm gonna do the shape of my hair. My hair, you can see, is going beyond that oval. Okay, now I'm gonna outline. I'm going around my hair. I'm outlining my head. Outlining my hair, and now I'm gonna do more like regular drawing, where I'm just drawing in what I need. I need bangs. So I'm having to think about this two different ways. I'm thinking about adding, and I'm also thinking about taking away. So I'm playing with positive space and negative space. I'm taking away, and I'm adding my nose and my mouth. This is when I'm like, ooh, that was a great lesson. So you can see, this is me feeling two different things. I generally look the same, but my facial expressions are way different.